All right, hey there, folks. I'm Meterologist Matt Barrentine, getting everything set up here in the our digital Gulfstream Center, and keeping an eye on actually some rain. Now, we haven't seen a lot of that lately. You haven't seen enough of that lately, but there are a pretty good line of showers and thunderstorms over around Hattiesburg currently. Here we are. I'm sorry, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We got that line of storms here developing over in and around Hattiesburg. Let me get my trusty mouse here. We'll kind of scooch around. And we can see this pretty heavy rain here, a lot of lightning as well here around Hattiesburg. So here's Greene County, Mississippi. So it's not too far from our viewing area. It has to get over that line to get into our viewing area, but it'll get there soon enough. There's also, notice on the north end of this, getting fairly close to northern Washington County and parts of Clark County as well, this line of storms. So that's headed your way. And obviously, this is desperately needed rain. We are in a pretty serious drought here, not just in our area, but all across the southeast. And you can see that here. Look how bad the drought is. You can see that there's some areas that are all the way up to the exceptional, which is level 5. So there's 5 levels of drought. Our area is mainly in level 3, which is severe, and a little bit of level 4, which is extreme. You can see those red patches. But this dark, like crimson wine red there, that's exceptional drought, and that's across a good chunk of Louisiana and parts of Mississippi as well. And you may have been hearing recently about this saltwater thing going on in New Orleans, and it's a real issue for them because what's happening is that it's not just in Louisiana, it's dry all the way up the Mississippi River Basin, and the Mississippi River is at extremely low levels. It got down to really low levels last year. It bounced back a little bit in the summertime, but not enough. And now it's going down even more. What's happening is that the salt water is basically going right up the mouth of the Mississippi River and pushing up towards New Orleans. And it's coming, and there's nothing they can do about it. And they have intakes there at the different cities there along the Mississippi near New Orleans, and they have an actual chart that it's going to go basically day by day. It's going to be moving up the river, and they have intakes for their water systems, and those intakes are going to start sucking in salt water. So the water in their homes that they shower with, that they wash their clothes in, will become salt water. And there's just nothing they can do about it. They're going to add some extra water into the systems, try to help a little bit, but they won't be able to dilute the seawater completely. And they're also going to have to drink, obviously, bottled water. They're not going to be able to drink out of their taps for as long as it's going on. So it's going to be a major issue for folks over in the New Orleans area. And it's all due to this sustained drought that we continue to get. Sorry, and for some reason, I don't know why it does this. Things pop up. I get pop-ups over here on this computer, then I can't control my computer. All right, so that's the drought monitor. We're obviously dealing with some heavy, got some rain out there now, which once again is a beautiful thing to see. I'll pop up the radar here again, and you can see that there. Showers and storms on the way. Not enough to break the drought, obviously, but you know, every bit helps. You get into a drought slowly. You have to kind of come out of it slowly as well. It takes time. And so there are some showers there. And there's likely to be even better rain chances the next couple of days as well. Pretty decent rain chances Tuesday and particularly on Wednesday. So we got a lot happening out there. All right, so let's talk about a quick look at the tropics. Pull this up here. We have a, all right, so there it goes. All right, so there's a couple areas that we are tracking and that we are watching out here in the tropics. Philippe is right here. It is a tropical storm. It's just going to curve back out to sea, so we don't care about that one. You can see this other one marked in red, so it's going to develop. It's going to become the next named system. It's most likely going to stay out to sea, so we don't really much care about that one either. If they want to, if we could have 50 storms that do that, just keep going out there like that. We don't care. Middle of the Atlantic, who cares? Obviously, though, there's a little area here that we're watching. You see a 10% chance. It's in the Gulf, but thankfully, we're only looking at 10% chances on that, and really looking at that little closer in. You're just not seeing much. And I've been keeping an eye on the modeling. The models really can't get this thing together. And some models want to kind of just drag it over here and it fizzles out. Some models take it out to the east and then fizzle it out over the Bahamas. So basically, when something's this weak and it's just not showing any real signs of development, the models don't know what to do with it. So I'm not too concerned with it at this point. Nothing really happening. we'd have to get some more information before I'd have any real concerns here. So I think we're doing okay. Just something we'll keep an eye on for you. The other thing I want to talk about here, this is kind of a fun one. You know, it doesn't feel like fall out there right now. It's pretty hot and pretty steamy, but you know, fall will come. I promise that it will happen. And when it does, you know, you can go take a little drive and go see some nice fall colors. And I wanted to kind of pull this up because I know a lot of folks like to do that, kind of giving you an idea when. Now, obviously, if you're anywhere in the elevated, you know, Appalachians up here north of Atlanta, up in, you know, North Carolina, East Tennessee, that's mid-October. So that's within about 2 weeks, they'll start moving into their peak season. Now, northern Alabama has a season too, but it's more like late October, so closer to, you know, the end of the month of October up to around Halloween time. That's a good time to go to the northern half of the state. Now, there are some changes here in the central part of the state up in around early November, but obviously there's not as many good trees there that do the fall foliage thing, so it's not really a good place to go. But there are some spots, even here in Alabama, that you can go and check out. So we got a lot of great state parks here. The closest one to us would be Oak Mountain State Park. That's just south of Birmingham. But then there's Cheaha State Park. Cheaha is the highest elevation in Alabama, 2,000-something feet. I've been there. It's real pretty, and they'll have some good colors up there as well, probably right towards the end of the month. Once again, these will all be towards the end of October. DeSoto State Park, absolutely gorgeous park. A lot of great hiking there. The DeSoto Falls is right around there too as well. So really great time to go up to DeSoto State Park. The little town of Mentone is up there near Fort Payne. Real cool little spot. Love going there. Montesano State Park, this is basically like in Huntsville. It's like their mountain right there. So that's a great state park to go. And I've never been up to Joe Wheeler State Park. That one's up there in Florence. But they say that's also another good one to check out fall colors. So there's a number of cool state parks here in central and northern Alabama. You're talking about, what, maybe a 3.5, 4-hour drive to Oak Mountain or Cheaha. You're talking about 5 to 6 hours to get up to the northern part of the state. So you could do it on a long weekend, I would say. If you're going to go that far north, I would say at least 2 nights. But you know, if you want to just go for an overnight trip up to Cheaha or Oak Mountain just to see some leaf colors, you could manage that because it's about a 3.5-hour drive. So there are some great spots. You can do that here in our own state. Don't necessarily have to go all the way over to North Carolina to check that out. Once again, we're keeping an eye on some rain back home. This will be the big story for us today and the next couple of days. We have some rain out there now. I'm going to get you real quickly the the forecast through the rest of the week. I'm going to get that 4-day up here. This is going to be important because of the rain chances next couple of days. And what we're looking at is today, it looks like we're going to at least get scattered storms today, later this afternoon. So I'm hoping we have close to 40% coverage here on your Monday. Tomorrow, I think we'll have about 40% coverage, scattered storms. Wednesday, the rain's a little more likely. And you also notice the temperatures dip a little bit Wednesday on into Thursday. That's not because a push of fall air comes in. It's just because there's cloud cover and rain around. That's it. That's what's causing the temperatures to be a little bit cooler. But you see by Friday, back up to 88. I have been looking at the long-range forecast. I'm seeing less 90s there. It looks like it's going to be, we're kind of creeping into the upper 80s. And it's not like we're going to be cooling off. It's just that the fact that our sun is setting earlier and rising a little bit later, so the days are getting a little bit shorter. We just don't have enough time to heat up to 90 degrees as much anymore. So that may be that saving us from 90s here on the long-range forecast. But we'll still be at least in the upper 80s. I mean, we're going to be close to 90. We'll be 88, 89 degrees anyway. So we're still above average, and we're going to stay above average, it looks like, for a while. It would be nice to see some changes on that, but obviously we're just not seeing it at this point. So we're going to have to wait probably pretty far into October before we truly get into that fall air. And I've talked about that before. It's mid-October is usually about the latest for us, well, you know, to get that first real nice taste of fall. Hopefully we get it by then, so we'll see. So that's how it looks next few days. We'll be on tonight at 3, 4, and 5 o'clock here this evening. We'd like you, of course, to join us here tonight on Fox 10. We'll have more details on that rain. Like I said, it's on the way, not quite here yet. But, you know, when we're doing the 3 o'clock show here in an hour, I'm anticipating that rain will be moving on in. and we'll be seeing these more showers and storms here around this afternoon. Once again, I'm hoping for about 40% coverage. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that. But hey, looking at the radar right now, it's decent. There's some showers out there. They're in a line straight across Mississippi. Now, they need the rain as bad or even worse than we do over in Mississippi, so they're rejoicing at this. But it looks like that's going to hold together pretty decently over the next few hours, and that should give us some decent rain, particularly west of 65. I don't know if it's going to hold on east of 65 if you're over in Baldwin County or the Panhandle of Florida. But the rest of us should get into some of that here this afternoon. Anyways, I'm meteorologist Matt Barrentine. Check in with us at 3, 4, and 5 for more. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 10 Gulfstream.